All right, today we're diving into a really fascinating way of looking at reality, a framework called metaphor, consciousness, and the finite node. And trust me, it's a set of ideas that might just challenge how you see, well, pretty much everything. So let's jump right in. We're going to start with a question you've probably thought about at some point. Is your blue the same as my blue? I mean, can I ever really know what it's like inside your head? This simple little question, it's actually the key that unlocks this entire way of thinking. So, to even begin to answer that, we have to start small. We have to start with the most immediate thing there is you. This first section is all about the foundation of this theory, the reality that exists from your completely unique, individual point of view. In this framework, you are what's called a finite node. Just think of it like this. You are your own unique address in the universe. Your single point of reference, and every single thing you've ever experienced, every thought, every memory, it all combines to make your perspective absolutely one of a kind. And the actual texture of that experience, well, that has a name too, qualia. It's that what it's like feeling. It's the specific richness of the color red as you see it, the way a certain song makes you feel, the exact taste of salt on your tongue. Qualia is your internal world. And the thing is, it's completely non-transferable. Okay, so if each of us is this separate, totally unique bubble of experience, it raises a pretty big question, right? Where does all of this consciousness even come from? To explore that, we have to zoom out, way out, from the individual wave to the whole cosmic ocean. Now this is the core analogy. On one side, you've got the singular substrate, this one, single, indivisible source of everything. Think of it as the ocean. And on the other side, you've got subjective reality, the infinite, unique experiences of every single one of us, every single node. We're like the countless individual waves on that ocean's surface. And this ocean is called the conscious substrate. The idea is that it's the fundamental stuff of existence. It's not just something around us, it is us. It's the source code, the original dreamer from which all of our individual, dreamlike realities pop into being. So how can billions of unique realities all exist at the same time without it just being total chaos? The idea here is that each of us, each node, generates its own parallel reality. Think of it like a bunch of radio stations, all broadcasting on their own unique frequencies. They all exist in the same space, they overlap, but you're only ever tuned into one at a time. Your personal history, your beliefs, that's your nodal filter, and it makes sure your experience is always and only yours. So this brings us to the central puzzle of this whole framework. If we all come from one single ocean of consciousness, why are we stuck just seeing our own individual wave? Why can't we perceive that source directly? Let's just really think about that question. Why is the fundamental nature of reality hidden from us? Why do we see a world of separate objects, separate people, separate ideas, instead of just one unified whole? And this just illustrates the problem so perfectly. On one side, you have the conscious substrate, an infinite, endless ocean of information. And on the other side, you've got your awareness as a finite node, which is like a very, very small cup. You simply cannot hold the entire ocean in your cup. It's a fundamental mismatch of scale. So what happens when our tiny little cup tries to understand the infinite ocean? Well, we are forced into what the source calls the metaphorical imperative. Since we can't perceive reality directly, our minds have no choice but to build models, stories, and representations. In other words, metaphors, just to make sense of it all. And what are these metaphors? Well, they're the biggest systems of human thought we've ever come up with. Science, philosophy, religion, ethics, they're all these powerful, useful, and honestly necessary tools. But according to this theory, they are all functionally equivalent. They are all just maps, not the territory itself. They are frameworks we build to navigate our subjective reality. So if every single system we use to understand the world is just a metaphor, and no single one of them holds the absolute capital T truth, what does that mean for you? This is where this whole framework gets deeply personal and, I think, incredibly empowering. Just think about that for a second. If science is a metaphor, and religion is a metaphor, and philosophy is a metaphor, what's left? What's the one thing you can actually, truly act on with any certainty? The answer is agency, your ability to choose. Agency is presented as the fundamental operating law of this entire network. It says that your sovereign subjective reality is the only truth you can ever really know and act upon. In a whole world of competing metaphors, your choice is the only solid ground you have. And this, right here, this is the core rule. It's called the law of non-compulsion. It is the ultimate guarantee of your freedom. No external system, no belief, no other person can force you. Your path is yours to choose, and yours alone. You can try anything, and you can refuse anything. And this agency isn't just a nice suggestion, it's apparently hardwired right into the system. It's fueled by curiosity, that innate drive we all have to explore new maps and new ideas. And it's shielded by something called the paradox protocol, which basically ensures that no single metaphor can ever become so dominant that it wipes out all the others. It's the system's built-in defense against dogma. Okay, this brings us to the final and maybe the most important takeaway from all of this. How do we use this kind of knowledge without just turning this framework itself into another rigid system we're trying to get away from? This is the anti-dogma mandate, and it's a crucial warning. This entire set of ideas we've just talked about, the node, the substrate, agency, it is also just a metaphor. It's a map designed to help you navigate. The moment you mistake it for the actual territory, you've missed the entire point. So the goal isn't for everyone to agree on one map. It's not for all of our realities to become the same. The real goal is to understand that the friction between our different, unique, subjective worlds, that's not a problem to be solved. It's the engine of creation. It's the raw material that allows all of us together to build something new. And that leaves us with one final question. A question that brings this whole cosmic journey right back down to Earth, right back to you. If every belief system, every philosophy, every way of seeing the world is just a map, which one will you choose to explore next? And what new territory will you discover?